going to go ahead and get started. So if you can come now, take child's pose. Put your knees with distance across the mat. Bring your arms high in front of you. Come into a comfortable position. If you want, bring your knees out across with the mat. If you want, keep them inward. Take a few breaths here. Really become present to here, to now. Maybe take this time to come into your breathing. Activate that breath. Something in yoga we call ujjayi breathing. You can activate more active form of breath. Leave behind the craziness of coming here, the rushing here, the sweating, everything from before this, and just come into this moment. And I invite you all today to set an intention for this practice. Try and think of some trait about yourself that you wouldn't immediately think when you think of self-love. Think of some physical, mental, or emotional trait. And think of something that you could love about yourself. And try and reaffirm that love throughout your practice today. Take another breath here. Really feeling this. A deep inhale all together. And exhale, come into a tabletop position. Onto your knees, shifting your weight into your hands and your knees. Flattening that spine. And take a few cat-cows here. On the inhale, lifting your head up, curving your spine. On the exhale, bending forward. To your own breath. A few more. Breathe through it. Let your breath be the guide for this practice. One more deep inhale here. And on your exhale, push yourself back into downward facing dog. Ground all fours into the ground. Let your heels come down to the floor. Really try and shift your weight back onto your heels. And breathe here. Enjoy this position and know that it's always waiting for you to come back to. Might be some of your first times practicing. Maybe it's not. But try and think of each position, what you can love about it, and what you can open up to in each position. Deep inhale here. And on the exhale, just baby steps. Walk your feet towards the front of your mat. Come into ragdoll position. Bring your legs hip-width distance apart. Grab your elbows with your hands. And just let yourself relax into this pose. Fold deeply. Take a few breaths here, just hanging loose. Think of your intention for this practice. On your next inhale, lift your hands high above your head, reaching up to the sky. Maybe take a slight back bend if that feels good, and bring them to heart center. And we'll meet here in Anjali Mudra. The meaning of this mudra is one of giving, of offering. So in this time, try and think of what you can offer yourself today. What can you give yourself in this practice? Deep inhale here, and we'll unite in 3 ohms. Open your eyes, lift your hands high above your head, taking a deep inhale. Exhale, forward fold, releasing all of that. Inhale, halfway lift. In this halfway lift, really try and lengthen your spine and look forward. Try and stack your joints on top of each other. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, push back into a high plank. And take some time here to stack your joints. Stack your shoulders on top of your elbows, on top of your wrists. Let yourself hang down. Take a deep inhale here and exhale to come into chaturanga. Still stacking your elbows on top of your wrists. Inhale, upward facing dog. Let your chest shine forward. Exhale, push back into downward facing dog. And breathe here. Really feel that. Feel that stretch. Feel your body saying hello. Take another breath here. We're going to flow through that 2 more times. We'll do it 1 more time slowly. Next time we'll pick up the speed a little bit. Deep inhale here. On your exhale, jump or step forward to the front of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift, straightening and lengthening that spine. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. And come into this position again and just breathe. Feel this. Think of the intention you set for yourself and what you love about downward dog and how you can bring that love to the rest of your practice. 1 more inhale here. Exhale, jump or step forward to the front of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Lengthen that spine. Exhale, forward fold. Release it all forward. Inhale, halfway lift again. Exhale, come into chaturanga. Bending down. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, push back into downward facing dog. Pushing away any doubts you have of yourself. Anything that you've brought here today you want to get rid of. And now take a few breaths here. Let's all unite in a breath together. Deep inhale in and exhale. Inhale here. And exhale, jump or step forward to the front of your mat, coming into chair pose. Bring your big toes together. Bring about 2 inches between your heels. And bend in this position. Lift your arms up and try and really lengthen your spine here. And reach forward. This is the pose that all the yoga instructors say is their least favorite pose. But try and think how you can find self-love in this pose. Find an adjustment that makes it feel good for you. Or maybe use your gaze or your breath to stay here. 1 more deep inhale here. Exhale, forward fold, releasing all of that. Inhale, halfway lift, lengthen your spine, look forward. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, come into downward facing dog. Pushing back. Inhale your right foot up in the air. And step it forward on the same inhale, lifting into warrior 1 position. Lift your arms high above you towards the front of the room. We're going to hold this position for a few breaths. Really activate that back leg. Make sure it's strong. Stack your front joints on top of each other, bringing your right knee on top of your right ankle. Shift your hips towards the front of the room and reach up. Reach towards whatever it is you set your intention for, whatever it is you're giving yourself today. And breathe here. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale, come into warrior 2, bringing your arms out to the side, shifting your gaze to the front of you, and lengthening. What I like to do in warrior 2 is make a right fist with your hands, really feeling all that energy inside of you and let it go. Let go of anything that you can't use today, anything that won't further your practice. Do the same thing with your left hand in your own breath. Feeling that power radiating through you from middle finger to middle finger across your entire body. Lengthen here. 1 deep inhale, exhale, reverse your warrior. Bring your left hand down, your right leg, arm to flank your ear. Try and shift your gaze towards that. And stretch. Really activate that back leg, keeping it straight. 1 breath here. Inhale. Exhale, chaturanga. Releasing all that heat you just filled up. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, push back into downward facing dog. Inhale, lift your leg high above you. Step forward. Come into warrior 1 on your left. Your arms up above you. Really try and lengthen here. And breathe. Breathe into that posture. Maybe take a wider stance. Shift your gaze upward. Bring your arms apart. 1 deep inhale here, and on the exhale, come into warrior 2. Lengthening here. Stacking your right knee on top of your your left knee on top of your left ankle. Activate that back leg. Don't let it bend. And lengthen with every inhale. 1 more inhale here all together, and on the exhale, reverse your warrior. Feel that relief in your right arm. Feel yourself reaching for something, grabbing for something. Inhale here, 2 breaths. Exhale, come into chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, push back into downward facing dog. And allow yourself to feel that surrender. to feel the sweetness of this pose. Another breath here. We're going to flow through this series, the Sun Salutation V. One more time, one breath, one movement. Take a deep inhale here all together. Exhale, jump or step forward to the front of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, come into a chair pose. Your best chair pose, your strongest chair pose. Activate that core. Bring your toes to touch, bring your hips, bring your heels a little bit apart. Gaze forward, arms straight, and hold. 2 breaths. Can you challenge yourself to take one more breath in this position? Using your core muscles. Setting your gaze on something that you want for yourself. Inhale, and exhale, forward fold. Release all of that. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, come into chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Push back. And on that inhale, lift your right foot up. Step it in front of you. Come into warrior 1 on the right side. Activate that back leg. Lift those arms up. Gaze up into the side back bend. Exhale, warrior 2. Inhale, reverse your warrior. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, reach up into upward facing dog. Exhale, push back into downward facing dog. Inhale that left leg up. Lift it in front of you. Come into warrior 1 on the left. Exhale, open up into warrior 2. Reaching in front of you. Inhale, reverse your warrior. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Look high above you. Exhale, push back into downward facing dog. And just breathe. Feel that flow. Feel that heat. I can feel your heat. Breathe. With every exhale, try and sink lower to the floor. Try and push yourself back. Take a moment now to adjust your breathing if it got away from you. On your next inhale, lift your right leg high above you and bend it, taking a 3-legged dog. Feel what it's like to be on one leg, the challenge, the difficulty. Inhale here, and bring your leg in front of you, coming into a crescent lunge on the right leg. Bring the heel of your left leg a little bit over the ball mount of your left foot. Bring yourself to face front of the classroom. Lift your arms high above you. And try and keep that right knee stacked on top of that right ankle. Keep those legs straight. And with every exhale, try and deepen the pose. Try and bend into it. Activate those back legs. Think of what you love about this position, what you could love about your practice. Let those fingers spray apart. Inhale here. Exhale, bring your hands to heart center. Take a deep inhale here to lengthen your spine. And exhale, twist to the right. In this twist, express yourself as you want, whether it's opening your arms, taking a half bind, deepening your twist. 1 inhale here, and then exhale. Inhale, rise back up into crescent lunge. Exhale, come into warrior 2 on your right. Inhale, reverse your warrior. And exhale, come into extended side angle on your right side. Bring your right arm down, your left arm to frame your ear, and shift your gaze over that left arm. Looking towards what it is your intention is set for today. Keep that right leg active, that back leg active. Inhale here. On your next breath, make your way to side plank on the right side. So if it's easier, come into a high plank first. Inhale into a high plank. Bring your right arm down, your left arm up. With every inhale, try and lift your body. 1 breath here. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, push back into downward facing dog. Take a breath here to reset. Inhale your left leg up this time. And bend it, coming into 3-legged dog. Really activating that leg. 1 breath here. Inhale, bring your left leg up and come into crescent lunge on your left this time. Lift into it. Keep that back leg active. Keep that heel pushing forward. Lengthen here. And exhale, bring your hands to heart center. Take 1 breath here again to lengthen your spine. And exhale, twist to the left. Try and activate with that back leg. One deep inhale here. Exhale, bring your hands back to heart center. Inhale your arms up. Exhale, come into warrior two. Inhale, take a reverse warrior here. Exhale, come into extended side angle on your left side. Bring your left arm down and reaching towards whatever it is you set your intention today. Whatever gift it is you're giving yourself. Reach towards that. Inhale here. In your next breath, make your way back into a high plank or a side plank on your left, coming into a side plank. Stack your feet. Lift your hips. And shift that gaze towards your right hand if you can. Challenging yourself. Inhale here. Exhale, come into chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, push back into downward facing dog and feel that release. Let's take one inhale here all together and a big exhale to release. Acknowledge you all for showing up today, for coming to practice. Some of us, it's our first time. Some of us know the flow. Whatever it is, give your body what it needs today. And if your body needs rest, give it rest. Take child's pose if that feels good. Inhale here. And exhale. On your next, take one more deep inhale. And on your exhale, jump or step forward, coming into chair pose again. Bring your big toes to touch, your heels apart, lifting up into it. Deepening your squat, lengthen. And engage that core to help you hold this position. Soften the gaze. Inhale here and exhale, forward fold. Inhale your arms high up above you. Bring them to heart center and come into chair pose again. Giving your legs that little bit of release. Inhale here to lengthen. Your hands still at heart center and exhale, twist to the right. Really try and extend those twists with every exhale. Open up your heart to whatever is possible for you today. Inhale here. Exhale, forward fold. Bring your middle and your index finger around your big toe. Take a slight bend in your knees if that feels good to you. Maybe bend your elbows a little bit if that feels good to you too. Inhale here. And exhale. In your next breaths, find your way to a wide, deep squat on your mat. Bring your feet to the sides of your mat. Come into the squat. Ground down your heels in this position. And just breathe here. Feel the heat that's building off of you, off your neighbor. Now we're going to come into crow position. So take a deep inhale here. And on the exhale, bring your knees above your elbow and push down on them. And just try and engage and activate one leg at a time. However you can. Take one more breath. And just try. Exhale, come down. Push back into chaturanga. Inhale, come to upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. And feel that release. Thank your body for trying. Sometimes in order to give ourselves self-love, we need to practice, we need to try. We need to come to terms with whatever it is we're attempting. We're trying to love about ourselves. Another inhale here. On the exhale, jump or step forward, come into chair pose. Inhale here, lift your hands up. Exhale, bring your hands to heart center. Your gaze forward, your elbows up. Inhale here, lengthen your spine. Exhale, twist to the left. Express yourself here however you feel, whether it's opening your arms, taking a bind. Try and deepen your squat here. Deep inhale. Exhale, forward fold. And this time, bring your feet on top to sit on top of your hands, stepping on them. And let yourself just hang here. Really feel this fold, deepening it, maybe taking a slight bend if that feels good. Another inhale here. And exhale all together. In the next few breaths, find yourself coming into a deep squat on your mat, bringing your hands to heart center. And sometimes we try once, and the only way that we allow ourselves and love ourselves is to try again. Take a deep inhale here, and on your exhale, trying to push up into crow. Lifting one leg at a time if that feels good to you. or both. Inhale. Exhale, push back into chaturanga if you can. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. And feel that release. Really allow yourself to breathe here. Take a few breaths. One more breath here. Inhale. And on your exhale, jump forward to defend your mat. Come into a deep forward fold. Allowing yourself to feel that stretch. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold again, releasing all that heat. And now inhale your hands high above you. Lifting them high above the time, maybe taking a slight back on the deck. Let's go to that view. Bring your hands to heart center. And now just shake it out. There's a lot of heat, there's a lot of breathing. Shake it out. We're going to come into the balance series now. Feel what it's like to be on one leg, a different type of challenge. So, in your own breath, come into eagle pose on the right. And to do so, take your right arm and twist it underneath your left arm. And take your right leg and twist it around your left leg, trying to hook your toes onto the back of your leg. In this pose, try and stabilize. Try and lift your elbows in front of you if you can. Use your gaze as a way to guide your body in this pose. And with every exhale, try and bend a little further. Your palms together. Breathe. And exhale, release all of that. Just let it all hang out. Another breath here. And bring yourself into eagle on the left this time. Bringing your left arm to wrap around and meet your right arm. And bringing your left leg to wrap around and come around your right leg. And try and bend in this position. Listen to what your body needs. Take as much of a bend as you want. Use your gaze as a way to keep your balance. Inhale here. Exhale, release. Release it all. Shake it out again. Shake it. Look to your neighbor. Give them a high five. Whatever feels good. We're all flowing. Working together. Another breath here. And now we're going to come into airplane pose on your right. So shift your weight to your left leg before lifting your right leg. And really keep that right leg active in order to lift it up while also lifting your arms up. And if you can, shift your gaze forward, allowing yourself to balance. Shifting your gaze toward what's in front of you. You want to look where you want to go. Breathe. And on the exhale, bring yourself into half moon pose on the right. So bring your right leg up, your left leg down. Right arm up, and try and shift your gaze to that right arm if you can. Using your core to help you balance. Allowing yourself to fall. Sometimes it takes falling to see what it's like to get up. To try again. Breathe here. Exhale, forward fold. Release all of that. Inhale, halfway lift. Really try and lengthen that spine in this halfway lift. Keep a flat back. Exhale, forward fold again. Inhale, lift those hands high above you, rise up. Take a slide back when the that feels good. Bring them to heart center. Now we're going to come into airplane on the left. So when you're ready, shift your weight to your right leg. Put your heels back. Try and balance in this pose. As if you're flying. And even if you're not flying, at least you're trying. Another breath here. Come into half moon pose on your left. Shifting your gaze upward. Maybe taking a slight bend in your right knee if that feels good. If that's what your body needs today. To stabilize yourself. Another breath here. Exhale, just come out of it. Release it however feels comfortable to you. For your body needs. It's a forward fold. Now inhale your hands high above your head. And bring them back to heart center. We're going to come into dancer pose now on the right. So shift your weight to your left leg. Grab your right hand with the outside of your palm. And start lifting that right leg, and that lift should allow your body to move forward. As you lift, keep lifting, set your gaze in front of you. Feel what you love about this posture, what you don't love. Inhale, hold, and exhale, release all of it. Shake it out again, shake it out. We're going to come into the same posture on the left side. So balance is not only about balancing on one leg, it's also about balancing on both sides, balancing whatever it is in our life, allowing ourselves to come inward and express outward, and to see what it's like to be on one leg. Shift your gaze forward. Inhale. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold again, releasing all of that. Inhale, lift your hands high above you to rise up, bringing them back to heart center. And now we're going to come into a very, very grounding pose, tree on the right side. So to come into tree, bring your right foot onto your left thigh, and just bring your hand into whatever posture feels comfortable. Whether it's at heart center, feeling that fast heartbeat, or it's lifting your arms high above you. Just feel that. Breath here, 2 breaths here. And exhale, release. On your own breath, come into tree on the left. Grounding yourself. Personally, one of my favorite poses. Very grounding, relaxing. It's the picture you always see in the yoga photos. Breathe here. One more breath. Exhale, just release all of that. Take a breath here. Deep inhale to lengthen. And an exhale to forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, push back into downward facing dog. Release. Few breaths here. Breathe. I acknowledge the practice is really hard. I acknowledge all of you for coming here and for doing this and for supporting me. Another breath here. On the exhale, try and jump your legs through your hand and somehow make it to your sit bones. Sitting back. And now lie on your back. Just lie. Relax. Few breaths here. Bring your knees up now, planting your heels on the ground. We're going to come into bridge pose, one of our first backgrounds, gaining a new perspective. So let your hands raise your elbows, push up into bridge pose. Bring your hands underneath your back. Lift your chest up, pushing away from fear, from self-doubt, from everything. Breathe here, and exhale, release all of that. We're going to take 2 more of these. Your variation, bridge or wheel. So wheel pose is essentially a back bend, bringing your hands to flank your ears and pushing up into it. So let's take that now. Inhale and exhale, push up, pushing away from everything. Lifting yourself, and breathe. And exhale, release. Release all of that. Let it hang loose. I want you, before we take our last wheel, to close your eyes and think of someone close to you. Think of someone who you love, someone who loves you. And think, how would this person describe you? How would they picture you? Sometimes we're so hard on ourselves and it helps to see it from a different perspective. Well, let's bring that to our practice as we go upside down one last time. Prepare for wheel or bridge, whatever feels right for you. Take a deep inhale. Exhale, push up. Push into that. Lift your chest. Feel that pose. One more deep inhale here. And exhale, release all of it back to the ground. Shake it all out. Shake it out on the floor. Roll to your side. And come up to a seated position. Bring yourselves now to your stomach. Whether you want to come through a down dog, whether you want to swing around, wiggle around, come down to lay. And bring your arms next to you, palms flat. We're going to come into locust. So take a deep breath and exhale. And on your next breath, lift yourself up off the mat, lifting your chest and lifting your legs, zipping them together as if they're one leg. Breathe and exhale, let it all out. We're going to come into that posture one more time. Take a deep breath here. And exhale. And inhale, lift up. Lift your heart, lift your spine, lift your legs. One more breath, and exhale, let it all out. Now bring your knees up. Windshield wipe your legs a little bit. Just let that all wipe out. Feel that. Grab onto your ankles from the outside. You're going to come into bow pose here. Inhale and rise up. Really lifting your chest and lifting your legs as you can. One more breath here. Exhale, release it all. And just come down. Come lay flat down. Put your ear to the mat. And breathe. One more breath all together, and you can exhale together as well. Inhale deep. And exhale, release all of that. Bring yourself now to seated position. Maybe by pushing up into down dog first, and then jumping forward. Sitting down. Lie back on your back. Take a few moments of rest here. Bring your ankles together, let your knees hang down. Bend your knees, bring your ankles, bring the soles of your feet to touch, and let your knees hang down. And breathe. A few more breaths here. We're going to come into abdominal work. Some of us are familiar with it, some of us aren't. Bring your hands behind your head. Prepare for the challenge, for the heat. Lift your legs a little, and come into doing some crunches. 10. Come into lifting your head with every crunch you do. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And just release that. Now bring both legs up to the sky, activating your feet. Lifting them high, trying to straighten your knees as much as you can. And let's take 10 crunches here. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 3, 2, 1. Release. Take a breath here. Bring your right leg up and keep your left leg down. If you can have that left leg, try. Let's take a few crunches here. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And switch your legs. Bring your left leg up. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And release. Drop it all down. Now bring your hands below your tailbone. Sit underneath your body. And lie on them. Preparing for a little bit more abdominal work. Really challenging yourself in this moment. Bring your legs high above you. Straight up, like as strong as you can. Hold them there. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower 30 degrees. Lower another 30 degrees. Bring them to hover 2 inches above the mat. One more breath. Release. One more time. Lift your legs high above you. Hold them. Bring them down 30 degrees. Another 30. 2 inches above the mat. One more breath. 2 more breaths. And release. Let all of that go. Feel that tension in your body and release. Feel that tension towards me, making you do that so many times. Another breath here. And exhale. We're going to come into doing some inversions now. In these postures, I invite you to push yourself, but don't push yourself too hard. Listen to what your body needs. Listen to how far it can go. Bring your legs up in front of you, bringing your hands on your tailbone again. You're going to shoot them straight up. You come into plow pose. If you come into plow pose, slowly lower your legs behind your head as much as you can with intention. Take a few breaths here. Breathe. In your next breath, push yourself into the shoulder stand. So push your legs back straight in front of you, using your hands to push down. Bring your legs up. Activate your feet by bringing them flat, pushing through them, feeling that energy through them. One more breath here. And exhale, slowly lower down. Release. Let's take an inhale here together, and a deep exhale all together. Another inhale together, and deep exhale again. And bring your legs up, once again in a bent position. Bring them up into the air, knees still bent. Bring them hip-foot distance apart. We're going to come into deaf man's pose. So bring your knees to flank your ears if you can. Opening up into that stretch. Feeling that. Feeling the difference between this and the fully extended one version. Inhale here. Exhale, bring it back all down, coming through center. Slowly. So release. Inhale yourselves up, coming up in a seated position, and push backwards into downward facing dog. We'll meet there. Find your way there in your own breath. And just breathe here. If you lost your breath, come back to it. If you lost sight of that person you had in your mind, their thoughts of you, come back to those. And breathe. On your next inhale, lift your right leg high above you and come into half pigeon on the right side. So bring your right leg in, bring your calf parallel to the mat, and push down here. Try and release into this forward fold. We're going to hold this for a few breaths. Feel your hips open. I was on the phone with my mom the other day, a few weeks ago. It was a really stressful day. I had to go to LC. We had a full day of class. Things weren't going my way that day. I saw some patients who really made my heart cry that day. I wanted to give them all I could, be the best version of myself for them. And I just felt very overwhelmed. I called my mom. She was at her treatment. We talked for a bit. She told me something that really resonated. She told me, Rupali, you can't just give. Sometimes you have to give to yourself. In this moment, give your body what it needs. Open up to that possibility of giving it to yourself. Only from giving to yourself can you give outward. One more breath here. Bring yourself rise back up on your next inhale. Come into double pigeon. So bring your left leg forward and stack it on top of your right leg. Bring your ankle to your right knee and bring it down. Lift up here and fold forward. With every exhale, feel that release. We'll take another breath here. Inhale, rise back up. Exhale, bring your hands down. And find yourself pushed back into downward dog, in whatever way feels comfortable to you. Lift your left leg up. And come into half pigeon on your left, bending forward. Inhale here to lengthen your spine, and exhale to forward fold. Feel that stretch. If my story resonates with you, think of how you can give more to yourself every day. Reflecting inwards so that you can give more to your patients, to your friends, to everyone around you. We'll hold this for 2 more breaths. Take an inhale to rise out of this. And find your way into double pigeon. Bring your right leg forward. Your calves parallel to the mat. Try and rest your right ankle on your left leg. Push your head forward. Bring your left leg down. Inhale here and rise up. Exhale to forward fold. Feel that stretch, that release. Take 2 breaths here to open ourselves, open our hips, open ourselves up to the possibility. Inhale to rise back up. Bring your hands down and shake it all out again. Feel that release. Now scoot yourself to the back of your mat, bringing your legs out in front of you. And just shake them out. Shake them out a little bit. Preparing to surrender into them. Bring your right foot to sit on your left thigh into seated tree. And seated to forward fold. Before you fold, bring yourself to face that left leg. Really lengthen here to face that left leg. Bring your arms up. Lengthen and then fold deep into that left leg. Grabbing onto that ankle if you can. As far as your body allows. Surrendering into it. Maybe take this time to think back to that intention you set. What were you going to give yourself today? What gift? We'll take 2 more breaths here in your own breath. Inhale, come on back up. And now bring your left leg in. And your right leg out. And again, twist to that side. And lengthen here and fold forward. Surrendering. Use your breath to deepen your fold. 2 breaths here on your own. Inhale to rise up here. And bring both legs beside you now. Releasing your arms down. Taking another breath here. And come into seated forward fold. So lift your arms high above you. Again, lengthening before you fold. And come down straight. Feeling that stretch. Activating those feet to activate those calf muscles. 2 breaths here on your own. Inhale, lift your arms back high above you. And exhale, just release into the side. Now we're going to come into wide seated straddle. So bring your legs apart, whether it's going sideways on your mat, facing forward. Activate your legs by flexing your feet. Inhale here to lengthen your spine. Lift your arms high above you. And exhale, forward fold. With every exhale, trying to push deeper. We'll take 3 more breaths here. Think back to what you offered yourself and how in this position you can surrender to it. Reach for it. Come to a comfortable position on your back. Come into happy baby now. Bend your legs high above you. Grab your heels from the outside. And just relax. Maybe rock side to side if that feels good to you. Say hi to your neighbor. A little hard to come over. Enjoy that stretch. And that release. Now, bring your both knees into you. Give yourself a big hug, big squeeze. Feel that love for yourself. And now just lower your left leg, keeping your right leg in. Take a deep inhale here. And exhale on the exhale. Bring your right leg across your body, coming into a supine twist. Bring your arms out, radiating that energy through your body. And we'll take a few breaths here. Another breath here. Deepen this twist. Feel that release. Inhale your legs back into a little egg shell. Safety coming inward. And now lower your right leg. Keeping your left leg in and hug towards you. Take a deep inhale here, and on your exhale, come into a twist on your left. Bring your arms high above you, keeping that left knee bent if you can. A few breaths here. Feel that twist. One more inhale. Next, bring yourself back into that ball. And this time, squeeze yourself so tightly. Squeezing. Giving yourself the biggest hug you've ever given yourself. And exhale, release forward. And just feel that rest in your body. A few breaths here. Come into a nice big ball again, squeezing yourself as tight as you can. Feeling that love radiate, that energy. Squeezing as tight as you can. And release. Bring your body into Savasana. Bring your arms down by your body. Your legs loose, hanging here. Maybe take this time to think back to the beginning of this practice, to your first down dog, maybe your first chaturanga and what that felt like. Think back to that person you thought of, the gift you offered yourself, and thank your body for what it's done for you today, for coming here today. I read a quote the other day that I wanted to share with you. You don't have to stand in the darkness, blind to the beauty of your own reflection. It's a necessary gift that only you can offer inward, and that's the only way to share it outward. Close your eyes here. Let your body hang loose. Your emotions are temporary. Your love for yourself is eternal. Relax in this position. Feel that tingling sensation. Start to feel it in your legs and your arms. And when you're ready, turn out to the side into fetal position. You started child's pose. Got a happy baby, fetal position. Cycle that just continues. Like our practice, our love for ourselves. Rest here. Slowly in your own way, make your way up to a comfortable seated position, keeping your eyes closed. Bring your hands to heart center. We started the class with 3 ohms. Come into community, to our attention. Let's end the class now with 3 ohms. Inhale. Light of me, bows to the light of